Okay, it's day 127. This is part one, and Jason came on to comment and questioned a lot of my recollection of our visit to this beach here in Hollywood Beach. So I thought I would just walk through it with everybody since this is going to be the Watergate of our time. So here's Trump Hollywood, this logo here, and you can see Trump Hollywood right there. It's kind of got this concavity right here on this side. I don't really remember the other side very well, but this is where Uranov is. Uranov is one of the diplomats. He's the Ukrainian grain. Ukraine grain is easy to remember. Ukraine grain brain. He was the billionaire. He's the guy who dies here, and now he either dies a month before this or a month after. I want to say we visit this sometime in August because it was bloody hot. I remember that. So we were investigating this EB5 investigation where Bernie Wisnant's body was thrown. And again, 3 lawyers had died, not just Bernie Wisnant, and Andrew McCabe was crushing the investigation from the Miami FBI office. So we thought, hey, we're near ground zero here, so we're trying to find EB5 lawyers, etc. We're doing all that kind of legwork. And then I remember that the body, I think, was down one of these, I think it was this alley, and this goes right to the beach, and they had built even a little wood structure that was under construction. And it's kind of private and hidden and very enclosed, and I think this is where the body was actually thrown, because I remember looking at the body, or where the body may have been, and looking straight up and seeing the Trump Hollywood sign. So anyway, we came back after we walked down the beach, and we're all hot and sweaty. You can see me here making our way down toward the Diplomat here. And the Diplomat, I remember having all this green glass and just really being beautiful. And I just thought, wow, if I was Debbie Wasserman Schultz, I would plan all my Ratline activity here. I would have EB5s. I would bring in Bogachev. I'd bring in Krylova. I would bring in Bodva. I would bring them all in. I'd bring in Westerman. I'd EB5 the heck out of this place. And remember, Sergei Millian back here at the Trump Hotel says that that's what he did. So it's not me saying it. It's Sergei Millian from the PP dossier is saying he's putting Russian oligarchs in Trump Tower to get EB5s, and then that ends up in Bernie Wisnant's death. So I'm not making this up. I don't know why we're having these discussions about credibility still. But anyway, we're in this beautiful hotel, and what I remember is I'm pretty sure this was the hotel bar. It was in the afternoon. It was very bright, and then I talked to a few different bartenders up here, a woman, and then an older, and then a guy, a Spanish guy, and then I remember a big black guy, a couple of pretty gals here, and then people are coming and going here, and then there's these groups of people. Oops, sorry about that. This is the Diplomat, so if you've never been to the Diplomat, we're over here somewhere, and I believe I'm sitting at a table like this, and Jason's sitting kind of with his back, and then his ex is here, and then she has her purse somewhere down here, the way I remember it. And I took an interview right here with Lee Stranahan, and they're kind of catching up on old times here. They hadn't seen each other in a long time. And then we get up to go after the Stranahan interview's over, and then her purse is gone. I believe it was in this bar. It could have been the next hotel down, but I'm pretty sure it was right after the Stranahan interview, and there was looked like a bunch of FBI types right here, and I thought, well, I don't know, maybe they want to find out who Jason's ex-wife is. I didn't know. So anyway, what I remember is coming down this ramp, very hot, extremely hot. I remember I only had long pants on. I didn't have sandals. I had like my red shoelaces going again. And here we're going this way, and I seem to remember this. I remember this building, and the reason why it had kind of a weird cross, it had like a cross, yeah, it had this arm, these 2 arms, and I remember trying to get out, and it wouldn't open, and all that. That's what I remember. And I remember it had a bank, I think, of some type. Let me see if there's a bank, like Citibank or something like that. Well, I can't really read it. I think that says Citibank. But I remember going in here past this hedge, and somewhere there's a spa in here, I believe, and waiting for Jason's ex to come out. And then we were thinking of driving, and she said, no, it's right there. There's the Diplomat. This is when we first got there, and we were going to go down to the beach. So then, after that's over, we were talking about, saying goodbye and so forth. And I had this message about Miami Mamas. And so we got in the car and we drove down this way, down Ocean Boulevard. It was quite a ways to Miami Mamas. And this, Jason says, I made up, so I don't know why I would make this up. But I remember very much getting that message. It was quite a ways down, actually, so I won't go all the way down Ocean Beach. But anyway, we went down there. We went around back. There was a parking garage. We were kind of deciding what we were going to do. And they were talking and said, well, maybe we'll just pretend to be a couple and go in there. It was about 5 o'clock, right about before closing. And that's when they left the car, and then they came back, and they said they're closed or whatever. I think there was a security guard there or something. I can't really remember all the details, and I have to ask Jason. Now, if Jason says that doesn't happen, it's kind of like the Cy Hirsch thing. I guess I just dreamt that up. I don't think so. You can ask his ex-wife. So anyway, I responded about I'm not going to really respond anymore about the Cy Hirsch thing. I'm actually quite disappointed in Cy Hirsch because I brought him a great story. And Beverly Spicer, and we've produced all the text messages so many times, I'm tired of it, and it's just a waste of time. It's really not central to the investigation, but I'm pretty sure that's where his ex lived, and there was all these Russians that lived in here. And I'm not saying they're all EB5, gymnasts from Moscow, but there was a lot of EB5 gymnasts from Moscow in the building. That's all I'm saying. And I think Bogacheva traces to this. I think it's 3800 South Ocean Drive right here, and she had a place here. So if you have a thing up here where the shooter is up in about 30 minutes away to the north, and that's where Krylova is, and you have Bogacheva down here, couldn't that be like the setup spot? It's so close to the Diplomat. Couldn't that be the setup spot where they would have the Russian girls? I don't know. And then there was this back channel that they had here behind the beach. And we ate up the beach somewhere up there after, and we talked about all that. That's my best recollection.